Hello guys, girls and non-binary pals, my name is Frida Sapphic.
And I'm Claudia Gabore. And welcome to Dragopedia.
This week we talk to the incredible Gucci Gabore on what it means to be extremely gaborgeous.
Couple of goes of bleach.
New length, new colour.
Yeah, and a little bit, and just a daft little toner.
Oh, stunning. Aye. Gorgeous.
I'm not being very health conscious.
Oh.
I've had to open the kitchen window and I'm having a cigarette. I don't usually smoke in the house, dear listeners, but I've opened the kitchen window.
Ivy at the moment painted like a phoenix, and she was lip syncing to "Rise Like a Phoenix," and it just reminded me of Franny.
Oh, can remember when Franny did that? Bless her.
Yeah, and then the week after she did the "Never Ending Story."
That thing's probably still in Powerhouse.
It is still in Powerhouse. 100%.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. I saw it.
Really is. It was there. Yeah, I checked it that it was still there for the semi-final, and it was.
And I took a picture, I sent to Franny, and she was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "That's your dog. That's been there.
This is your piece of shit prop.
Been there since the second week of Drag Idol. When Gucci comes on, I'm not going to mention it to her that my lace is so dirty that it won't stick to my head.
She'll probably clock me for something. Eyelashes.
Tell me I'm gorgeous, and she'll tell you're like a piece of shite. Oh my goodness me!
She's like, where is she on?
Aye.
Oh my goodness! Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to introduce your mother?
So, dear listeners, as you all know, we have got the one and only Gucci Gabore here with us. So, how are you today, Gucci? How's your week been?
Are we filming already?
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, I wasn't prepared. But I need a drink.
there she is. She's in it. Now she's with us.
Hi, love. So what did you ask me? I wasn't even listening.
How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been all right. I was too busy looking at myself in the camera there. It's been fun.
Our dear listeners, would you like to maybe describe your drag in 3 words?
3 words. Can I sum it up in 3 words? I mean, mine is beautiful, gorgeous, and stunning.
Good.
Touchable.
Yes. No, untouchable. You're not allowed to fucking touch me.
Touchable and wiped clean.
Yes. You know I like to be wiped clean at all times.
And
so,
not to sound like the Drag Race audition tape, but where did you get your name from?
My first name came from my favourite part on a male body, which is that little bit between the balls and the arsehole. And I thought I'd just make it sound a bit more expensive, so I added an I to the end of it. So that's where Gucci came from. And then Gabore came from the actress Zsa Zsa Gabore, because I just thought, how fucking camp is that?
Oh, okay. Cool. That's cute. That is very cute.
So as we've asked our other guests that we've had on, is there any drag trends that you do not like?
Is this where I'll get myself in trouble?
Yeah.
What do we mean by drag trends? Give me an example.
Like mine, what got me was, do you know when everyone was drawing the nostrils and darkening them?
Oh, yeah. Silly used to do that all the time. I told her she looked like a twat, but she just wouldn't listen.
See, now that's one that I couldn't get my head around.
And mine was the Gigi Good milk mustache.
Oh, yes, the little white line. Well, at the minute, it's not that I don't like it. I feel like it's very overdone, is these wet wigs. The wet look wig, I'm like, yeah, it was cute, but I'm bored now. Let's leave that for 2020, shall we?
No offense.
Yeah. It's like greasy hair. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Everyone was walking about with a razor cut wig for weeks, weren't they?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And is there any drag trend that you absolutely love and would love to, like, it be bigger and more?
My favourite drag trend is rhinestones and glitter.
Yeah.
Anything that's sparkly, the sparklier the fucking better for me.
Yeah.
Well, another drag trend I hate is that you have to wear nails, obviously.
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I don't have time for
You
that.
can't do anything. You do fuck all with nails.
This is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just poke holes in your you just have poke holes in your tights when you go to the toilet.
Exactly. Yeah. No wonder queens get holes in their tights all the time. They've got fucking nails on. Just leave them.
I live my life in fishnets, so for any sort of nails or nail gloves are just as a no-go.
But I want to go back to your little humble drag beginnings because you did Drag Idol. You won in 2015. So how did you feel about that year being like broadcast on YouTube during lockdown? Because like,
to be honest, it was really weird. Like when I did it in 2015, drag wasn't really as big as it is now.
Yeah.
And I was only 18. I turned 18 in November, and I won Drag Idol in March.
Shut up.
So still the youngest winner ever.
I thought I was to be the youngest winner ever. Jesus.
No, yeah.
Oh my god.
No, but I'll be the oldest. So it doesn't make a difference, does it?
But yeah, I only turned 18 in November, and I won Drag Idol in March. So
that's amazing. Was that so? Did you start? Was that like your first time in drag, first performance ever?
No, I'd been doing drag since I was about 15, just so that I could. So it was so I could sneak out underage because I wanted to go out on the gay scene, and I just thought, what is the easiest way to go out without anyone IDing me? So I just chucked a wig and a dress on, and nobody asked how old I was. I actually got ID'd on my 18th birthday in Darlington, and they came up to me and said, "We've been told that you're underage." And as he ID'd me, I handed him my ID, and he was like, "You've been coming here for years. This says you've just turned 18 today." And I was like, "Whose fucking fault's that? You let me in."
Well, that and I'm 18 now. It's not like it's going to be kicked out, is it?
Yeah.
Exactly. They couldn't kick me out.
Yeah.
So what was like what was your drag idol experience like? Did you stress about it? Did you have fun?
Oh my god, it was fully 6 weeks of stress.
Yeah.
100%. I think because I was so young as well, I had more of a pressure of like, they just looked at me like that. Oh, this is a little boy in makeup that thinks he can do drag. That was, I think I even got that comment on the first week, a pretty little boy in drag. That was a comment I got on week 1. So I just had to prove to them, I was like, well, if that's what you think of me, I want to fucking prove how good I am.
But that's really shocked me because like some of your performances in Drag Idol, honestly, I literally would have thought you were a lot older than you are because of just the intelligence of things that you produce. I would never have done that when I was 18.
You still don't do it now at your age.
Fuck off, Claudia.
So we've had a couple of messages from Giselle as well on Instagram.
God, what did she want?
So Giselle said, "What would be your weapon of choice in a fight?"
My weapon of choice? I don't really use weapons in a fight. I'd rather just fucking hit someone.
That's what I said. I said sheer body weight.
These fuckers, yeah. No, but if I had to choose a weapon, I do usually wear really high shoes, like the Perspex clear ones. So they would be a really good weapon to whack some fuck around the head with.
Your feet got posted on the Drag Race Instagram.
They did, yes. My feet within. I had my red platform shoes on. Got posted on DragCon's account and World of Wonder as well, I think.
Yeah. How was that doing DragCon? Was that really fun?
Oh my god, amazing! It was one of like my favorite weekends I've ever done. Yeah. I was a bit gutted because it was the same weekend I usually do Test on Tour, and we absolutely love to do Test on Tour. We like to take a big group of women away for the weekend, and it's so much fun. So I was a bit wary at first. I was like, do I really want to miss this? Yeah. But then DragCon came up. I got the opportunity to go, and I got wigs and makeup and everything for free. So to a drag queen, instantly I was like, that's exactly where I'm fucking going. But it was an amazing experience. It was really bizarre. Like it got to the weekend and I kind of forgot everything that had happened because it was just so crazy. Yeah. Like even the papers picked up that there was thousands of people who couldn't even get in because they'd oversold. there was queues for like 4 hours for people to get in. We didn't even know any of this was going on because we were inside. It was just like, it was one of the craziest things I've ever done. Amazing.
Well, I remember messaging Mother that weekend, and I was like, Mother, is it as bad as everyone's saying it is? And she was like, oh, a lot worse. And Twitter's not helping either. Like, it is horrendous. It
got a pretty bad rep in the papers and online, but I mean, once you were in there, it was amazing. Like, you couldn't fault how they did it. It's the organisers' fault for overselling.
Yeah.
And also, I suppose we will have to touch on it. About the whole BBC Three eating with my ex.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm sure our dear listeners want to know all about that. So I don't start at the beginning.
Do people still know about that?
That everybody's talking about Jamie Starr. Jamie, what's his face?
Well, me and Jamie were together when we were. Like, this is, to be fair, I'm totally just ripping off everything I did on the show. This is going to make it look like such a sham. But me and Jamie were together when we were like 15, and we were like, well, we can't really talk about being together when we were 15. Like, you can't really talk about that on TV. So we were 17 when we were together. And Jamie messaged me and just said he'd been asked to do the show. Would I consider doing it with him? Mainly, he did it for my benefit. He was like, we'll do it in drag. It's great. Like, just to publicly put you out there, put you on TV. So I was like, fuck it, yeah, why not? And then they got in touch with me. I got offered a large sum of money to go down to London for the evening, and I was there. It was really fun. But again, it was very bizarre. I got there late on the evening the first day. I stayed over. Then I was in drag by 7 a.m, wandering around London and filming. So that was a bit like a very crazy experience. That afterwards I thought, what the fuck just happened?
Did you sort of play it up to the cameras, or was everything just real? Like, did you sort of go into it and just message and be like, we'll just make a lot of drama just for the crack?
Well, we didn't like plan anything like, let's make some drama or anything like that, but we both kind of just said to each other, let's just have fun with it. Whatever the fuck happens, happens. We're not really bothered. So when they were putting the plates down, and each plate had like a question on, they lifted the napkin off and we had to answer the question. Half the time they had to keep stopping because we were just laughing. Like, it was a really fun experience because me and Jamie are really good friends now, and we have been for a long time. We get on really, really well. We were together when we were like kids. So there was nothing going into it that was going to be awkward. We were like, fuck it, let's just do it for some airtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't cause any drama apart from I did get really, really drunk. I'm not going to lie.
You drunk, Shock?
I know. They filmed my confessional.
3 bottles of wine before she even walked out on the stage. Should have been mortal before then.
No, I drank 2 bottles of wine. They were bringing, like, it was like a 3-course meal. So they brought the food out, and I was like fuck, they're catching me eating in drag on camera. I just pretended to move the food around, and I was just drinking wine after wine after wine. They filmed my confessional after it finished, and they had to redo it again in Leeds a few weeks later with me out of drag because I was so drunk that they couldn't really use any of it. So that was really fun.
What was it like, though, seeing someone like Jamie, who you'd known for such a long time, to then be, I guess, like a West End sort of, I don't know, like a West End story that people like Bianca was involved in?
Yeah, it was weird at first, but after he did the documentary, I kind of knew that I'd never seen anything on TV like that before. So when I'd watched the documentary and it all came out and it got big, I knew it wasn't just going to stay as a documentary. It was pretty obvious. So when the show got announced, it didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But I think amazing to him. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, they changed his story a little bit. They used his storyline, but it's just kind of based on him.
Yeah.
But amazing for him. I was really, really happy for him when it came out. Like, even now, he's got this film coming out from it and everything, but I was actually asked to be in the closing scene of the movie, but I was working and it wasn't paid to do the final scene. So I was like, I'm going to get the money, fuck the film. So I ended up being in Leeds mortal as usual.
Would you like anything like that for you? Like a West End show all about Gucci? Everyone's talking about Gucci.
Oh my God, no! They don't. There'd be nothing they could use for it. Like,
Everyone's already spoken about it.
Nobody can put
Everyone-
anything that I do in a musical. Like, that's just not going to work well.
unless Debbie Does Dallas turns into a musical, then yeah, not anytime soon.
Exactly.
How did you like get involved with? Is it Give Face? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get involved with Give Face and everything like that?
I got involved with Give Face originally when I was working in Leeds every weekend. The woman that the drag queen that owns and runs Give Face, Denise, met me in the Viaduct in Leeds, and we just got on really, really well. First time I met her, I didn't even know who she was because I'd spoke to like the Give Face account and stuff like that before when I'd ordered, but I didn't actually know that who the person was behind it.
Yeah.
So we spent a whole night together. I got absolutely wrecked. There was her and a few others that had all come over from Birmingham just for the night. So we ended up getting really, really drunk. And it wasn't until the end of the night, she was like, I'm going to send you some free things. And will you put me some reviews up? And I was like, send me what? And then she was like, oh, I run Give Face. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, I just got this pure drag queen, absolutely mortal. I made such a tit of myself. And it's the owner. And then a few weeks later of me reviewing certain products and advertising online for her, I ended up, she made a group of us that she took to DragCon, which she calls the Working Gals online. And there's me, Silly Gal, and Giselle, and we all just kind of run, we're like ambassador type things. I hate saying social media influencer because I think I'm Molly May, but yeah, that's just what ended up happening. But I love working for Give Face. She's so amazing and she does so fucking much for us. It's crazy.
And you in that hard front wig, I was literally sat there like, that's a hard front? Honestly looks insane.
She's redone, like, the thing is at the minute with what the fuck we're going through, it's horrendous. So getting hold of lace fronts and people that make lace fronts at the minute is really hard. So Denise has reinvented the whole hard front and they're unbelievable.
It honestly, his wigs are just incredible, absolutely incredible.
It wasn't until we turned up that I even knew it was a hard front. She sent me pictures, and then when I turned up, I was like, are those hard fronts? And she was like, yeah, did I not tell you that they're not lace? And we were all like, oh my God. And the minute we put them on, like, it's amazing. They look so good.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's a running theme that Claudia gets her tits out and shoves them in the camera.
Well, you don't. So I have to.
Yeah, sorry. I don't have anything though.
Me either, don't worry. I'm wearing mesh to hide the fact that I've got my nipples out.
I thought, stick my tits on and I thought I might leave them on for later on. Just wipe them down.
Why did you pull Claudia from the crowd and decide to take her on? Well,
I love the people think that I pulled her from the crowd, and it was the other way fucking round. I just couldn't get away from her. That was my other fucking story.
I wouldn't get out that DJ box.
Well, I knew of Claudia from online, but we never really met until I started working back in Middlesbrough at a place that shall not be named. But I started working there, and Claudia obviously was on the door and wandering and hosting, and I'd never met her, so we got on really, really well from pretty much the first time we met. And she came up to me and asked me for a selfie and fangirled a bit, and then from then on I couldn't fucking get rid of her. And it was a good while, wasn't it, when we just used to get on really well. We used to go out a lot and we'd message all the time, spend a lot of time together, and then I started giving her advice and things like this, and it was a long time before the Gabore came along, wasn't it? Yeah,
because it wasn't instant or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was kind of like picking a brain. I used to wait till she used to get mortal drunk when she was nice. When you could, you can approach you when she's fucking steaming.
No, but I'm quite proud of my drag name. I really love my drag name. I've never heard anybody else with the name. So I'm quite protective over the Gabor name. So when it came to giving it to somebody else at first, I was a bit like, I've worked fucking hard. Like, for me being 18, winning a competition, I worked hard to get my name known. So it wasn't like I could just give it to someone and it was really easy. But I trusted Claudia and more than anything, and we get on like a fucking house on fire. Yeah. So I was like, if I was going to give it to anybody, it was going to be her.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so now I just get to drag it through the mud now.
Essentially.
Yeah, it's great.
Same, really.
All I ever get is messages about that little shit, telling me what she's been up to, what she's been doing, what she's been saying. So I'm always like,
do you know, I wish people would stop talking shit about me because I don't do anything wrong.
Listen, I'm sorry, Claudia. I just sometimes I need to. You know what I mean? People ask, and I just have to say shit about you.
Yeah. Well, you would. You would, because I'm going to send you home.
She is well behaved, really. She's all right.
I have my moments.
Oh.
But as a rule, on the whole, I'm not too bad to me. I'm not too shabby, I don't think.
No, you're all right. It was more the week one that she started doing Drag Island. I couldn't make it. She wasn't even on that week. She turned up to watch for week one, and I didn't go. The next day, I woke up to about 10 fucking messages. She'd been arguing. She'd been starting on everyone. She'd been doing this. I was like, oh, God. She hasn't even entered the competition yet, and she's already kicking off with everyone.
Has there ever been a moment, apart from that one, where you've gone, oh, fuck, is it too late to just, like, put her up for adoption?
I wish I could say yes, but no. I do love her.
To be fair, she probably could say yes as a few occasions.
There's probably been a few occasions, but none that I can pinpoint. I think me and Claudia are very, very similar, but she's just louder about it. So she's the one that gets the name for herself, and I just sit and pretend I'm all innocent.
No, she dares me to do things, or will tell me to do something, and then I'll go and do it. It's not me.
That is one of my favourite things to do.
Uh-huh.
She instigates. She plants seeds, is what she does.
You're very easily led.
And then you're the catalyst, Claudia.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like family therapy. I
feel like I'm in fucking therapy trying to sort out why she's such a bastard.
Do you know what? I looked at myself there. I feel like I look like Sarah from Hocus Pocus.
You do, actually.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. I'm getting that vibe, yeah.
That's what I feel like. I might go and get shagged after this.
Have you got no lashes on?
Can't find them. 4 boxes, I can't find them.
Gucci
strike fucking one. She's getting wrong after this.
I know, I told you. I did say before you came on, I was like, right, I'm getting clocked for this no lash situation.
She was like, I'm getting clocked for something, I just know it.
Yeah, I've only just looked close enough when you said that and realised.
I was like, right, where's that fucking eyeliner at? Just cake it in eyeliner.
Do you think you're sort of like perfectionist in drag, and like everything needs to be correct for you to?
Oh no, I don't think so. No? A lot of people have this opinion of me that I'm like that, and I'm very. I get a lot of opinions that I'm quite stuck up or up my own ass. But as Claudia can vouch for, I am quite the fucking opposite. But I like to look nice, and I like to be proud of how I look. But half the time, I'm really not that bothered.
Yeah.
I want to, like, people always say to me, oh, but you spent ages getting ready. I can get a face on in half an hour and look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Well, there you are then.
There's no...
That comes with success, though, because people see you as really successful, and people are like, oh, well, she's probably stubborn.
See, I don't know. I don't see myself as really successful and stuff like that, so... I don't think anybody looks at themselves like that. So I never really know why people have certain opinions of me. However, I don't really fucking care. Yeah. I think half the time the opinion that they have is jealousy rather than anything.
Yeah.
Just to be humble.
But we've got another question from Giselle.
Oh, okay.
Giselle said, "What 3 things does it take to make a Gabor?"
3.
3 things.
It's a £10 filing fee for one. You've got to send a letter in the post with your CV, and you've got to let me know how good you look, how good you perform, and your dress size. And the 3rd one is you have to have the worst fucking attitude in the world.
Yes. That does help, doesn't it?
Yeah, massively.
Tell you what,
Really does.
Success, Claudia.
Fuck you. I was just looking at myself again.
Well, I am active as well, as people have probably seen online. Not to sound like fucking like I feel like I'm Melissa Edwards, but I am actually actively looking for maybe one more. I'm thinking if we could get one more Gabor on the line, but
yeah,
I have to know them very well. Well, not know them very well. I have to get on with them very well first.
Yeah.
Because I am quite actively looking for another one. I really enjoy helping Claudia and watch her succeed at what she's doing, and I get so proud when I come to Drag Island and watch, because I know that anything I've learned in the little bit of experience that I have had compared to some queens, if I can teach somebody and help them enjoy drag and love drag as much as I do, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
And who was it that was your guiding light during Drag Idol?
Quite a few people, actually. My main mentor would be one of my really, really good friends from Darlington. He's called Joe.
Yeah.
He was the main one that I was at his, before the final, 2 weeks before the final. We sat up nearly every single night till 5, 6 in the morning planning my finale. I ain't even got there, but I was like, if I can get into the final, I want to be fucking prepared. So 2 weeks before the final even happened, we were sat up every night. Because my final, when I did the number that was all the lights and the robot shit, we made that entire costume. So I was stood in the living room and we were fucking like soldering like electrics into the back of my body, like my bodysuit, and it was crazy. So I would say that Joe was my main mentor through Drag Idol.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, rather than as opposed to having any help on the actual production side of it, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can get that.
It was crazy though, because a lot of I lost you there, but I'm back. A lot of the performing and stuff, like when I obviously went into Drag Idol, I hadn't really performed before. I used to dance, and I used to like do dance where I would do exams, and I used to learn to dance. But apart from that, I'd never performed in drag before. So my week 1 of Drag Idol was my first ever time performing in drag.
Oh, okay, wow.
And then 5 weeks later, she's a fucking winner.
So what's your thoughts on the whole drag and social media and the whole online situation at the minute?
We touched on that last episode.
Yeah, but we haven't had Gucci's opinion. I would quite like to have Gucci's opinion on this.
How do you mean, like these drag shows and stuff?
Yeah, just sort of the effect of social media on drag.
Yeah, and the effect of social media.
Yeah.
Oh god, the effect of social media is ridiculous, for the fact of like I keep saying, when I started when I was 18, there wasn't really much drag and stuff online. There wasn't like, there was tutorials, but there was nothing compared to what there is now.
Yeah.
So now the effect of drag from social media is that anybody that watches a tutorial can put a bit of makeup on, can style a wig, and sit in the bedroom and take a nice picture of themselves, thinks they're a drag queen, when that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's just one of those main things that I have a really big opinion on, that everybody thinks they can do drag because of Drag Race, and they think they can do drag because they can put makeup on. They've watched a TV show. It doesn't mean you're going to be any good. Yeah, you can sit there and look amazing all day, but it doesn't mean you're a drag queen.
Something controversial yet brave, but there are a lot of people that call themselves a drag queen who shouldn't necessarily call themselves a drag queen. Yes, you put makeup on, yes, you do drag, but you're not really a drag queen. Sorry.
Kind of touching on this subject about people thinking that they can police drag, or because they've seen Drag Race, they kind of know what it's all about. I watched this YouTube video the other day of this straight guy from Leeds. Have you seen it? And how he rates all the queens.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, no.
My God. And I watched that the other day. And if a straight cis guy can sit there and absolutely tear chunks out of, because all of his drag knowledge was just the American series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so he just literally sat there and tore into every single queen on Drag Race.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said English drag isn't the same, because English drag queens sound like someone that you'd go for a pint with.
Yeah.
And that really kind of pissed me off. Because you think, all the work that you put into it, regardless, people are still seeing you on these social media platforms and you're still getting pulled apart. Even after you've had validation from what people would consider to be the biggest drag queen on the planet.
Yeah. Would you?
Everybody's always going to have an opinion, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like arseholes, isn't it? They've all got one.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't really want to sound like every single little twink in a bar, but are you kind of considering doing Drag Race or?
I don't know. I'd love the money from Drag Race. I would absolutely love the money, and the way that you treat like absolute fucking gods from the minute you've been on a reality show, which when you look at it properly is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just because you've been on a reality show does not mean that you're any more talented or any better at something than anyone else. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people that may be more talented than some of the people that have been in that show, but I don't know. I would never say that I wouldn't want to do it, because of course anybody would love to go on there for the money and stuff like that. But but no, I can't complain.
Yeah, true.
Is there any queen that you would like to see on there that you feel like necessarily doesn't get the credit?
I would absolutely love to see Giselle on there. I think Giselle is one of the most creative and just amazing people at what she does, and the way that she can craft and do makeup, and she's just, I would absolutely love to see Giselle on there. That is my one person I would love to see on the show.
Do you think I don't know, but do you think do you think makeup or performances are more important in drag, or they just sort of coincide with each other?
I don't really think makeup's that important. I think it's great if you look good as well as you are good, but I would rather sit there and watch somebody that was going to entertain me all night than sit there and just look at someone because they look good.
Yeah.
I'd rather somebody pick a microphone up, make me laugh, perform, and make me want to get up and just enjoy it, than somebody wandering around a bar that looks great and sells me a shot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not quite the same. So I think I would much rather somebody be really, really talented and look like dog shit than them look amazing and just stand there and have the personality of a brick wall.
Yeah.
Very true. Very, very true.
Because it's all well and good being visual, but if you've got no entertainment factor to you, then it's a bit lackluster, isn't it? It's you can polish a turd, but it's still a fucking turd, isn't it?
It's sort of every single year on things like Drag Race, and then also I've just understood what you just said there. You
can roll a shit in glitter, it's still a fucking shit.
I know. You sort of see every single year on things like Drag Idol and Drag Race, these queens that come on, they're like, I just want to be pretty, I just want to look pretty, I'm just a pretty queen. Yet and then they get to a challenge, and it's or a week or whatever, and they have to do something, and suddenly they're not as great as they thought they were, because they just want to look pretty.
That's where I see a difference between a drag queen and a makeup artist. If you want to look pretty and put makeup on to look good, you're a makeup artist. If you want to perform and entertain people as well as doing all of it, then you're a drag queen. But
that's another thing. I think there are a lot of people who will a lot of people who will put on wigs and put on makeup and stuff and then say they're a drag queen, and I'm just sort of sitting there but are you a drag queen, or are you just a makeup artist? But also, what do you think about sort of this sort of thing of drag queens have to be really good makeup artists and they have to turn out interesting looks every single week or every single day or whatever?
See, again, I feel like I might be repeating myself a bit, but it's just, to me, the makeup thing's not that important. Yeah, it is great if you look amazing, then great. But a drag queen to me is an entertainer. So even though a lot of these people are really creative and they make their own outfits and stuff like that, that's never been a thing for me. I've never made my own outfits. I've never done my own wigs. I've never done anything for myself, I would rather pay someone else to do it, as big-headed as that might sound.
Yeah.
I like to turn up and do my job. I like to DJ, host, perform, and do what I want to do. I'm not the creative type, so my look for a long time was always second to whatever else I was doing. I'd rather people know me for being entertaining and performing than they do know me for being able to make my own dress. That's just not important to me.
Which I think you have.
I find that I would much rather be known for the entertainment side of it as to oppose it, or because she can make all right dresses or that kind of thing. Like she does good nails. I would much rather be for something that has got more wear, like that can hold. I'd rather be able to hold a crowd than anything else.
I find it a lot more not a lot more insulting, but like a lot more of a tack for them to say your performance is boring rather than your makeup is terrible.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd rather somebody say that performance was amazing, but it wasn't the best dress I've ever seen. I'd rather entertain them than them give a shit. And if you're that entertaining, they won't even comment on what you look like because they won't care.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
like there's certain people that do Drag Idol. They look a certain way, but because they were entertaining, they don't mention it. Where if they came on and they weren't entertaining and they looked like that, like some of them again from Drag Idol, then they get sent home because no one wants to look at that.
Do you want to say any names, Gucci, while you're
here? No.
How do you think you would do in Drag Idol now? Because Drag Idol every single year gets a lot harder as every competition does.
I don't think I would win now.
Really?
I mean, I'm very proud of what I can do, and I feel like I'm a very good entertainer.
Yeah.
However, with all this like newer stuff and things like that, like I don't think I would do as well for the fact of there's so many different types of drag and stuff and performances going on now. Whereas when I was doing it, it's not that we were all the same, but we were all kind of going down the same routes, and it wasn't too dissimilar from each one of us. Yeah. Where now, each performance to the next, when you look at it, is like just from one end to the other. There's someone fucking stapling themselves, and then there's someone jumping off the stage, and then there's someone turning up with a fucking spaceship, and then there's some fucker with horse legs and goat legs on. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I was doing it, it was like, oh, who can do this musical this week? Who's picking the musical that week? It's completely different. Completely different.
Yeah. It's so kind of it just seems it's like every year, isn't it? It's like what can you think of to do that's going to try? It's either got the wow factor or the shock factor, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like every year, you're constantly trying to up your game, aren't you?
I think it's also very intimidating for people like us as well, Claudia. Where like I think if you've got last week with someone stapling themselves, or if you've got last week with someone doing giant splits off the stage and everything, to you it feels like, well, I can't do any of that. So what does that mean for me? Does that mean I'm less of a performer? Like,
well, yeah, that's exactly my point. Is in like when we were doing it, there wasn't any of that going on. We were all just getting up there and lip syncing. Yeah. One of us would maybe bring a different prop the next week, but there wasn't any of like this just complete oppositeness. Nowhere.
Yeah, I find that's what it's been very much, especially for like me and Frida. I find that it's been very much like not one person's the same. It's like you say, it's like what can we do now, or what can we bring now that's different to last week, or completely fucking different.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like everybody keeps on going on about, get all the winners back and make them do it. If you think for one fucking second that I would agree to that, that's just not going to happen. I've won once. I don't need to prove it again.
I'll get all the winners in a minute, but for right now, we'll just go for a quick break and we'll be right back. Hello.
Hey.
We are back. Before the break, you mentioned about an all winners Drag Idol that people keep bringing up every now and then. The winners of Drag Idol have been so different. It just would not work.
No.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Even in order, it wouldn't make sense. I don't think. The styles are so different, aren't they? So it wouldn't flow, would it?
Because you've got.
I think it goes back to that point we've just been on about, though, of like how completely different it is now. So the winners from years ago compared to the winners that happen now.
Yeah.
You can't really compare them, can you?
No, because I think you've got people who will sit there and say, oh, well, obviously they're going to win because of this, that, and the other. And I'm like, but you're forgetting about, like, this queen who's done this, and you've got a bit about this queen and this queen.
Yeah.
Like, you know. And also, half the winners aren't even doing drag anymore. So, there you are.
Yeah.
Exactly. Most of them won and then fucked off.
Exactly. Did you watch previous?
Yeah, there is loads, isn't there, that don't do anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame, really, isn't it?
Well, October to Winter just came back.
Octavia Dye doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah,
that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about. I always forget about her. No offense to Octavia, she's probably won't. But,
well, there's quite a few of them from previous years as well that call themselves winners. So.
Who are
Hey.
It's me.
I'm just not saying anything. I'm not getting myself in more trouble.
Me, I'm saying Paul.
Just say I'll bleep it out. I swear. I will. I swear.
I don't fucking believe you. No, there is quite a few of them. Mainly the ones more than I know are the ones from my year that apparently I shouldn't have won. They should have won. They should have won because of this, and they should have won because of that. Everybody's always got an opinion on why they should have won. So this is why I just don't talk about it anymore.
But let me just say this: watching the final, because I did watch during lockdown. Your Drag Idol was my main source of entertainment, and I will say this: watching the final, you were 100% the clear winner.
I just think it's like when I look back on it now, it just feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
Like considering I was literally 18 and I'm 24 now, it's just crazy.
So much has happened as well, though, hasn't it? Like in your career as well. Like there was the whole DragCon thing, and then she was in Vogue in the summer.
Oh my god, I was from DragCon, yeah.
Yeah, she was in Vogue.
Picture me having a fag, so that was fun.
I mean, fancy them getting that one.
Typical me, isn't it?
But that's how we knew it was you. I spent a fag around.
Is there anything that you really want to achieve with your drag that you have yet to do?
I really want to eventually have like some sort of show together. I'm not sure in what format or how long I want it to be, but I would really like to have even just like a little half an hour show that I would love to travel and perform, because my main thing that I love to do is performing. However, I never really get to do a lot of it. I'm more host and just do nights and stuff like that, like DJing and looking after a crowd. So I would absolutely love to do more performing if I could eventually.
Yeah. You absolutely get your life doing that Zumba class.
Yeah. And I think I think a lot of people as well always underestimate me when it comes to performing because I don't do it as much. Yeah. But I absolutely love that, because a lot of times when I do actually perform, like the main ones I've performed at, like the most recent were like opening Club Kids events and stuff like that. And people get a shock when they see me perform because they don't see it a lot. And I love that.
Well, that's the thing. I think because of our scenes, because of, you know, how the Northeast in general deal with drag compared to Manchester and London, we're a lot more like DJ queens. Like that's what really queens are there for, to just DJ or to sell shots. And so whenever I do see queens who sort of spend their life DJing, let's just say like Anna and Gladys, and then I see them perform, it's like, oh shit, I forgot how good you were.
Yeah, like I think that's one thing I really love about the Northeast drag queens, is that you go anywhere else and a lot of them, not to say that they're not talented or anything like that, but it's more the fact of because they just perform and they just host nights and wander around. Yeah, I think the Northeast have a really good drag scene for us being able to like it's basically it's stand-up comedy really, isn't it? Yeah, you're given a mic, he's a mic, and you need to entertain this room. And I think that's one thing that the Northeast has a really, really good representation of. Is like, you know that these bitches are funny.
That's very true.
If these bitches can hold a pub's attention at 2:30 in the morning when everyone's absolutely steaming shit-faced.
Exactly. And the Northeast gays are fucking hard to entertain because they're so fucking bitchy.
Yeah. That is very, very
Yeah, they are a tough crowd, aren't they?
However, the Northeast crowds with working men's clubs and straight middle-aged women, on the other hand, are amazing. You've never known a bunch of people appreciate drag queens more in your entire life than the working men's clubs. Is like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do love it, don't they?
Oh, they're obsessed.
They do. Oh, I went to see Gucci not Christmas gone, the Christmas before in Spenny's Social Club, and it was amazing. Like the atmosphere was amazing.
It was on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it was one of the best nights out I've ever had.
Is that where that video of you with the curtains open and you just come out looking like that big?
Oh, well, that was from the same show, but that was in Shildon, in Shildon Civic, really close to me as well. Yeah, when they opened the curtains, and I'm just stood there like. They just absolutely love it. They're like the best audiences around here. Amazing.
That's the thing. Like the hardest people to impress are little twinks.
Oh my god, yeah, the ones that they watch you and they're like, "Well, I can do better than that."
Yeah.
The gays are the worst crowd. Because they expect, aren't they? They're like, "You've got to do this, you've got to do that." Where they're straight, you just have to turn up. Call one of them a fat cunt, and that's it. They all eat out with the palm of your hand, don't they?
Exactly. You can just be vile to one woman, and then that's it. They think you're the most amazing thing that they've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's great.
So when I just want to go back to Drag Idol, but so when you were doing Drag Idol, was there any regrets that you had about your weeks, or was there something where you was like, oh, I could have done that a bit better?
I wouldn't say that I had any regrets because I won. So
Yeah.
I don't regret anything I did because I still won. However, obviously my Disney week didn't go to plan, was from the fact of they didn't understand my references and things like that, because I still stand by what I did. I think it was quite clever.
Yeah.
But at the time, they didn't understand it. They didn't get the references. So it didn't work. I wouldn't say it's a regret, but it's obviously, if I had to do it again, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Which is, it's a shame, isn't it, when you put so much effort into it and when people still can't get the reference, or even if they did and it was the twigger a little bit later, how they're still going to say that regardless.
Well,
so I think that's always a shame.
That's the thing, though, Claudia. Especially with me, the weeks that I thought I've done the worst in, I still don't think I did. To me, I still sit there and go, well, I don't hate this. It's just their fault that they just didn't understand it, really.
Exactly.
It's not I still love it. I still stand by what I said. I'll hold my hands up and, say where I've faltered. I know that my week one is a lot, if I did my week one again, it'd be a lot better than, if I did it now. But still, there's a lot of things that I've done in Drag Idol where I might not have been received as well, but I still stand. It's
different. I think it's different for you two, though, looking back on it now, because it's not been that long ago.
Yeah, so and it's still not finished.
Yeah, there's not that much of a gap from you starting it to now. Where when I look back at it, it was 5 years ago. I'm like, fuck that. I don't even care. Well, actually, no, 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
So when I look back on it, I just don't care. But I understand, some people do regret it, but I don't think there's anything to regret. If you understand what you were doing, then who gives a fuck what anyone else thinks?
True.
That's the thing. I've always said that if I was to go home, at least I went home doing something that I enjoyed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to go home. That's the problem with people sort of making numbers for you or giving you ideas, is that either you're winning on someone else's idea or you're going home on something that was out of your control.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything I did my year, I loved and I wanted to do every week. I wanted to do that number. So the fact that I won on doing things that I actually wanted to do made it even better. I didn't just turn up and do things that I was expecting them to want.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, I'm doing this, and if they don't like it, they don't fucking like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, even that, there's only so much you can do as well, isn't it? Because you think you've only got such a small amount of time anyway to get everything prepared. And then you think if you're going and if you're allowing someone else to take up that time for you, then you're going to be even more out of pot on the day that it comes to performing.
Yeah, you can't complain. You get a week. You get a week to put a brand new number together. It's not like they're giving you a month, is it? Like, they can't expect too much. And like that's another reason why now it's so different, because it is so much effort week by week. Where when I was doing it, I was putting in as much effort as I could. But nowhere near like what they do now.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. It is. It is
but
a nightmare.
I have absolutely no regrets about doing it, because I don't think I would be doing drag to the standard I am now if I never went into the competition.
That's true.
I think it did a very good thing for me.
I think as much as we all love to complain about how stressful Drag Idol is and how much they really do push us to our wits' end, without Drag Idol, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
We wouldn't really have the attention and the ability to do things. In it.
It is like.
I feel like that. You know that meme of that girl with a bob on when she's just sat going. This is what I feel like with his hair on.
It is gorgeous. Where's it from?
I have no idea. I've had this wig for about 4 years, and I finally steamed it and did it, and I was like, "This will work." Just a natural woman look.
This is what happened with this wig. I had this wig for a very long time, and I just gave it to Blue, who's Nixie Mitosis, and I just gave it to her, and I went, "Can you do something with this? I kind of want something with a fringe," and just sent her a picture, and she went, "Aisha."
Well, this is what I've come to. I'm that fucking skint in lockdown. I've had to resort to doing my own hair. After 6 years of doing drag, I'm finally doing my own wigs.
So it took a worldwide pandemic for you to get the fucking brush out.
It really has. To be honest, though, I'm not complaining, because even from the start of the pandemic to now, weirdly, my drag has come on a hell of a lot as well. So
same.
I'm not complaining.
I would say that, like, I think people who sort of, what's the word, like, people who worked at their drag during the pandemic, it's definitely given people a lot of time to work on it and improve. And,
it has.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because 9 times out of 10, like I say, when you sat there and you feel like there's not a lot you can do, really, is there?
Yeah.
Other than to improve. And if you haven't, then
it's given a lot of it's given a lot of drag queens a kick up the arse, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because when you've got no work and you're stuck at home and you have to make your own work, it's kind of made everybody go, "Oh fuck, I should really make an effort now."
Yeah. I mean, there would be times where, like, during the first lockdown, not so much now, but the first lockdown, and I was doing nothing all week, there'd be times I'd just like, I'm just going to put a wig on this weekend. I can't, there's nothing else to do.
Exactly. But it was. It's true though, isn't it? And I think, what is there to do? Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to go and play and put a wig on.
Exactly.
I was bleaching the bathroom with 8-inch heels on. No joke.
But it was so strange, because, like, you'd get ready, and normally when you get ready and put a wig on and go in drag and whatever, you're in drag for a long amount of time. But during lockdown, you'd go in drag, have it on for 5 minutes, and then go, okay.
Yeah, done. Like, I mean, I do these lives and stuff, and I sit there for an hour, put makeup on, and then I go and have a drink, have a fag. We do the live. You're on there for at the most 2 hours, and then I'm taking my face back off, and I'm sat here like, what the fuck was the point in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then especially at the minute,
isn't it?
I think people are that bored of seeing every drag queen's done a live, every drag queen's done an online show. So a lot of people are struggling to get the views that they were getting last time. Like we are, when we do the tiny lives, compared to the first time when it was a brand new thing that nobody had really seen before. Everyone loved it. We had them tuning in every Wednesday and Saturday. And now, because it's been going on for so long, you get these that dwindle off and people are not as interested anymore. So at the minute, I find it even harder than it was before, because you had such a support last time. Where this time, people can't really be asked with you anymore, because they're like, on it again.
Yeah, I think people are just over it now, and they kind of just want to go out and party.
Are you fucking telling me? I'm so ready to get out of this bedroom.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Oh. I just want to get a couple of drop offs and just go wild.
Yeah, Every time I put wig and lashes on, I'm like, oh, I just want to go out now. I just want to go to the yard. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I want to get off me tits, and I want to do the cheeky girls. That's all.
If we find that, that's going to be the first thing we do. The
first
minute
thing we do, honest to God. As soon as I walk in there, I'm like, cheeky girls now.
Gucci, did you not used to work in Newcastle?
I worked there for a little bit. Yeah, I used to work at Switch. Was the first place I worked at after Drag Idol.
Yeah.
I was there for a little while, and we did it was called something like Shag Tag or something, and we had like a big board, and you like wrote down if you fancied people and shit like that. Didn't really work very well. It was on like a Thursday night, a bit random. And then after that, I was working at the bank for a little bit as a DJ.
Yeah.
I did my like a 6 weeks at the bank, I think, and then it wasn't really for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't my sort of crowd and stuff like that. But I for some reason, like I love going out in Newcastle on the gay scene, but I do not like working there at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Yeah, I suppose you get to know your own scene as well better, don't you?
Yeah.
Then like.
Well, I was in Leeds for a long time, like every weekend. So I never really found that I worked much up here. I worked a lot more in Leeds, Manchester way than I ever did North East way. The most work I ever do this way is with Tess and the girls when we do the shows. That's the closest to home I work. But then now, obviously, I'm back in Middlesbrough, but that's only been recent. Because before that, I just didn't really enjoy working in the North East at all.
Yeah, it does sort of get very monotonous and very like repetitive. Every single. I
find it more that it gets very cliquey.
Yeah. Terribly.
Very. Yeah.
And there's certain groups of queens don't like working with other queens and have a lot of opinions.
Say the names.
Oh no, I am not saying no names. No chance. I know who I'm on about, but I'm not saying names.
I feel like I know who you're on about as well. I've heard stories. Let's just say that.
No, to be fair, a lot of people probably. I get on with a lot more people than I used to now, but it's probably just because I'm fucking older and I can't be arsed with the drama of what I used to love when I was 18, 19. I used to love a bit of drama, but now I can't be arsed. I'm too lazy. And I don't cross paths with like people that I don't need to. And I work where I work, other people work where they work. And I've had a lot of people make comments to me before because I don't work in Newcastle. Oh, well, she won Drag Idol and she's never worked in Newcastle. Who gives a fuck? I've worked all over the fucking country. Just because I don't work in Newcastle does not mean that I'm not validated because I didn't stay in Newcastle. I think better me for going out and getting work elsewhere. What do I need to stay there for?
Absolutely. Well, that and why not? And why would you not want to travel with your act? That's kind of, isn't that? Yeah. That's the
kind of the whole point,
idea, isn't it?
If you're given an opportunity, then take it. You know
just me being a bitch, just making out that I didn't want to get stuck in the fucking yard for the rest of my life.
How did you end up working in like Leeds and Manchester then?
Well, somebody that I used to be friends with was like the manager of one of the clubs down there. Mm-hmm. So I went down for my birthday one night for they did a whole birthday party thing for me as a guest queen. And after that, I got offered every week. They were like, we'd really like you here every week. And I left the bar that I was working at in Middlesbrough because I was like, at the time I was young, like I think I was only 19. Yeah. So when I got offered a job in like a huge gay scene like Leeds, I was like, oh my God, I need to take that. I need to leave here and I need to go there. Mm-hmm. And it was the best thing I ever did. It made me so much better. It made me instantly, I had to change my makeup up, my look, because working in such a big gay scene like that, I was like, fuck, I'm really out of my depth here. Yeah. So it made me get better very quickly, but I think it was still now it's the best thing I ever did by going down there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
I mean, I've finally I'm back working in Middlesbrough now, so I feel like I've come a bit full circle. I went out, learnt what I needed to, and then I come back. And at the time when I was working in Middlesbrough, I was probably seen as like these little baby queen that had just turned up, and now I think I'm kind of pretty high up there when it comes to the North East.
I mean, I mean, it's no lie. I do sort of sing your praises quite often.
All the time.
Thank you.
All the time.
You're one of the very few, because most people just think I'm a bitch, so I appreciate that.
Like, it's just a thing of, like, I remember, because I'd never really seen Your Year. Your Year was sort of, I mean, I wasn't really a drag idol fanatic, but I did rewatch Years just to see what it was like and see how I could do it, because I think that's the best way to do drag idol, really, is to learn what
definitely
sort of enjoy in a way, but also stay true to what you like. And I remember, like, watching Your Year through lockdown, because I'd never really seen yours at all. I just knew you were Claudia's mother. And then I saw just all the things you did, and like it was when you got to Live Week as well, and I was like, oh my god, this is incredible.
God, I can't even watch that back now. I find it so embarrassing.
It's cute. It was really cute.
I can't watch any of it back. I'm like, oh.
I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
And I enjoyed your so life. Thin. I was so thin, so when I look back at it now, I'm like, how did this happen?
And now Claudia's the absolute skinny legend of the...
I know, yeah, she's fucking thinner than me now, this slag. I'm not happy about that.
Oh, she will be soon. She's still sturdy, do you know what I mean?
Still got a bit
she's still sturdy. There's a little bit of timber there still, but she's losing it.
Just something to grab onto in at last.
Claudia, would you want a daughter? Like a little Claudia?
No. I'm barren, me. I'm barren.
Like me.
There's not a chance. It's no.
No, but you're not allowed to give my name to anybody else either, so that's absolutely not happening. I'm one of them anyways. If I was to have kids, it'd be in care anyway, so I don't want to drag one. No. Yours would be took off you after a fucking day. Absolutely. It's not for me, that. I'm not having no kids.
Not even one little, not even if a little twink came up to you next year and was like, I want to do a drag idol.
I'd be like, go speak to someone else then. No, that's such a lie. I already know your reaction would be fuck off. Well, yeah. That would be the first thing you would say to them. Fuck off. But no. I think it was the first thing I said to you actually as well. I was like, I think it was. Fuck off. I was like, I'll just go back to my box then. Me like that.
Have you had people, Gucci, come up to you and be like, can you be my drag mother?
None of them that I think were being deadly serious. I mean, I've had a few people have asked me before. I have more people messaging me on Facebook asking makeup advice and shit like this.
Yeah.
Oh, but I never had anybody teaching me makeup and giving me advice when I fucking started. So there's plenty on the internet now if you want to go out there and have a look. I haven't got the time to be sitting through my inbox telling you what fucking pan stick to use. Just go and get yourself on YouTube, girl.
Google it.
Google it.
Yes, this is also a public service announcement. Just stop fucking messaging me asking me to make advice. The next one that does is getting a fucking slap.
How did you get involved with like Tess on Tour and all that jazz?
Well, when I was really young, like before I'd even started doing drag, I think I have to be careful of what age I say because of our job. But I was at a young age when Tess put me in drag. That's all I'll say. A very young age, because she was really good friends with one of my older sisters.
Yeah.
So I'd seen drag and stuff from being really, really young. And then I was very, very young when Tess put me in drag because I basically begged her to. And they all openly admit now that they were like, oh, this fucking kid. It's a bit like what I'm like with these young kids that ask me. Can't be asked. But as I got older, I started going out and drag, like I say, when I was 15. And I was going out to all of the places where they worked and they kind of just couldn't fucking get rid of me. And then when I told them that I was going to do Drag Idol, and they were all really, really supportive and they were there for me, they didn't come at all during the competition because they were like, if they see us there, they're just going to assume it's us doing all the work for you.
Yeah.
So I didn't really speak to them for any of it. And then when they finally came to the final, and then after that, I just started like working for them at the shows. I was hosting the shows and just doing daft bits for them here and there. And then we just all became like the best of friends, like all four of us. And it was just kind of, we just come as a group now. You can't fucking get rid of us. So anywhere one of us goes, we all go. And we just work so well together. Like the shows and the tours all work amazing.
Yeah.
And I love being part of it. It's just crazy. And it was like, not to sound too cringe, but when I was little and I saw Tess for the first time, I was like, oh my God, I want that to be me. So it's another full circle moment that now I work alongside her is pretty amazing. I'm quite proud of myself.
Yeah, that's very, very cute. I love that.
Yeah, going from being somebody that you look up to and you want to be to working with them, it's what can you ask for?
Yeah, exactly. Because I've never really seen that show, but I think it would be quite a camp night out. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God, yeah, the shows are amazing.
Yes. They're unreal. As if you've never seen a Test show.
I know. I'm sorry. Well,
there's not many. To be fair, though, a lot of people haven't round here because we stay pretty local with the shows. We don't go very far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that and you can never get a fucking ticket anywhere.
Well, yeah, half the time they sell out in 2 days. So.
Yeah, within seconds.
So we can't complain about that either.
Did you say you wanted to do something like that, but for yourself? So instead of like Tess on tour, you'd want to do like Gucci.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to travel with like not like a show to the extent of what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a full 2-hour production show with sets and all the rest of it. That's not quite my aim yet. Mine is more. I turn up with 4 or 5 numbers and I do a little show, get paid them off. That's more along the lines of what I want to do. Being a bit more realistic.
But you did, which I didn't get to see because I was on holiday in Spain. But you got to do the Drag Next Door in Newcastle.
Oh my God, I did, yeah. That was the first time I've performed in Newcastle since I did Drag Idol.
Oh my God, wow. That
was weird.
Yeah. Was it a good night? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was amazing, and that's another one of the things when a lot of people that don't see me perform very often were quite surprised because Travesty was the one that asked me to come and do it.
Yeah.
And I was a bit surprised. I was like, why is she asking me when there's all the queens in Newcastle? I was a bit like, I didn't really understand why I'd been asked, but I loved that I'd been asked, but I never get invited to anything that happens in Newcastle, like drag-wise. So it was a bit like of a shock. I was like, oh. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. Just because Trav asked me, I was like, I'll go and do it. And I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. And all the girls there were like, we forgot what you were like when you performed. Yeah. And that's what I love, not to sound big-headed, but I shit every single one of them up and I loved it.
Oh, Claudia's fell down. You all right there, Claudia?
Yeah. I'm back now. We had a little, a bit of technical difficulty there.
But Gucci, Claudia mentioned last episode that you really want to do like a girl band, like a drag girl band.
Oh my God, yeah. So this is one idea that I have for this year, but obviously I'm not going into too much detail on what it is. But not girl band like I'm going to sing because nobody wants to hear that. But I have a very good idea for a little show that I want. So once we're out of this lockdown and we can be around people that we're not just living with, then I have a really fun idea for a show. I think it'll work really well.
Come.
So I hope, but as well, I'm going to be actively looking for girls for the show. I did need 3, but I need 2 now. So if that's not a hint to how many is in the group, then. Yeah, I did need 3. I did need 3 other girls for it, but I only need 2 now because there's only now 3 of them. So if that's not a hint, then we don't know what fucking is.
If you don't know now, we're never going to fucking tell you.
Yeah, I think it'll be really fun, though. I think it'll be really fun.
I do.
It's a format that I've seen other queens do.
It's something different as well, isn't it? And I think, especially up here, it would go down an absolute storm as well. It's camp, it's fun, it's relevant.
Yeah.
Well, the gays absolutely love a girl band, don't they? So if you're going to do, just even a few songs from the girl band, 2 or 3 in the show, and they'll be there like that. You know they will.
I was mentioning that to Claudia. I was like, I remember seeing during I don't think it was during lockdown or it was something during Girls Aloud doing the drive-in on that big ass stage with all those cars honking. I was like, I want that. That's what I want.
Well, this is where the inspiration came from. Sorry, Cheryl. She's going to fucking hate me for stealing her idea, but she keeps stealing the ideas from my fucking wigs, the bitch. So that's what she gets. She keeps copying my wigs. I'm copying your show, you cow. But yeah, I'm not doing Girls Aloud because that's taken. I'm not doing the Spice Girls, but it'll be fun.
Cute.
I
can't wait to have a fucking lawsuit on my hands from Cheryl. She's going to kill me.
Can you imagine you've been served on your doorstep?
Honest to God, if she sees that I'm doing this, she's going to fucking kill me. But oh well.
But what, like you mentioned, Cheryl, like watching Drag Race UK now, it is insane. Like, I mean, especially for you probably because you've worked up and down the country, seeing people that you know go on and like, you know, I don't know, like go on and do something incredible.
It's weird because obviously in the drag community as well, we get to hear a lot of what goes on the show before it's aired, and it's like being a drag queen yourself. When you know people, drag queens can't hold their own shit, can they? So the minute that show's being cast, I already know a handful of who are on season 3. So it's like you just hear it from drag queens. Literally cannot hold their own shit. So the minute they know something, every fucking knows. So yeah, it's weird when I find out people that I know are going on it to then actually seeing them on there.
Yeah,
it's really bizarre. Like this week that Cherry went home, that I've known for quite a while and met a few times, and it's weird knowing that when we saw her at DragCon last year, she knew she was on the show and none of us did, and then she was wandering around and I was like, there's something fucking going on with these random few queens that have turned up, and every fucking one of them from season 2 were there and they all knew at the time, but they didn't know who else was on it. But it's just weird, seeing queens that like you know going on the show. It's bizarre watching them. But I suppose the Americans have felt like that for ages.
I know, yeah.
Because it's new over here, it's weird to us now.
Like every
and because we're so much smaller as well. 9 times out of 10, we've heard of more of the queens as a country, like of all of them. If you know what I mean.
I think I know probably about 80% of this cast that's on this. On this season 2.
Yeah,
it's absolutely insane. And also like I'll hear people get rumored around in Newcastle constantly. You'll hear things like, just so you know, this person might be doing it, they've been shortlisted, they might be doing it, so you know, just in case, just be ready. And then they don't get on.
I'm not saying nothing. No, yeah, a lot of people do get rumored, and there's a lot of rumours always go around about everyone, but at the end of the day, I don't believe any of the rumours half the time, because if they've signed a fucking NDA and they're serious about it, then they're not going to be talking about it, are they?
That's very true. I mean, you can tell the people who went home first versus the people that have in the final, because the people that went home first will be seeing every other thing.
Well, all I'll say is look out for mid-March and look to see who disappears off social media. Then we know who the fuck's there. If mid-March comes along and all these drag queens just start dropping like flies, we know where they've all fucking gone, don't we?
I'd love to be known as like a seamstress or some kind of wig stylist, so I could like just have loads of queens bombarders just before March and just be like, can you make us something because I'm going away? And I'd be like, oh, yes, I can. Also, can I
That's another amazing thing with me working for Give Face, and then obviously It's a Wig thing that works with us.
Yeah.
They're the first place you go, aren't they? When you get on fucking call for Drag Race, you need makeup and you need wigs. So if any of them get the fucking inside goss, it's them too. I'm always trying to prize it out of them.
We are running a bit out of time, but Gucci, is there any sort of advice that you could give to the little baby queens that are just starting out with drag?
Don't do it. Do not do it. No, what advice would I give? I would say if you want to do drag and you want to do drag, not makeup, then you need to be prepared that it's fucking hard work. Really, really hard work. Anything in drag doesn't just get given to you. It isn't easy, and you do really have to work hard, because 20 other people right behind you waiting to fucking take that job off you. There's 20 other people right behind you willing to work for £10 less than you. So if you want to do drag and you want to do it well, you need to prove that you can do it.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah.
And be prepared for these older fucking queens that are going to hate you.
And do you have like a king or queen of the week that you want to give a shout out to?
King or queen of the week?
Apart from Giselle, because we've already said her.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Trying to think who like I'm obsessed with at the moment. There is a drag queen. I'm not sure where she's from, but she works for Glitter Bomb, and I'm sure she's called Aria. Yeah, I don't know where. I'm not sure where she's from. If I can find her on Instagram, I'll send you the link. However, I'm a little bit obsessed with her. And there's another queen that I really love from London. What the fuck is she called? Can't remember. She can't be that good. So yeah, Aria.
Well, this has been lovely. I've really enjoyed talking to you today, Gucci.
Oh, thank you. See, I'm not that nasty.
No, she is. She's lying.
This was all an act.
I haven't had the proper chance to talk to you properly, so this has been really cool.
I usually avoid everyone, so that'll be why. No, I've loved talking to you both as well, especially to see that silly cow's face.
Look at her go. Bless her. What do you want to plug?
She's starving.
I want to what? Sorry.
Do you want to plug anything?
And yes, follow me on Instagram at Gabore, follow me on Twitter at Gabore. And if you would like to purchase anything from Give Face Cosmetics, you can use code Gucci for 10% off.
Aye. Cap?
Oh, but a discount.
I've even shaved my armpits just for the occasion.
Stunning. Absolutely.
And my tits.
So much effort.
But thank you very much. Anyone have any last words before we end on a lovely note?
Always white front to back.
Yeah.
Claudia?
Just that, really.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good advice.
Support the dolls when all the bars open, and when the bars are staying closed, support the dolls any way you can. Remember to watch Tiny live.
Yeah.
Always wear a condom.
I really need to hear that advice as well. Thank you.
Me too.
Thank you, little girls, for having me. It's been lovely.
You're welcome, Mother.
Bye, everyone.